Good evening, District 2. Welcome to our first ever virtual National Night Out. Unfortunately, we have to come together this way because of the climate and the COVID spreading at this point. However, we can't wait to see you again and get those hugs and high fives in the neighborhood where I can get free hot dogs and soda pop as well. But until then, let me introduce you to some of my team, the folks that are out here getting work done for you every day. To my left, we have Officer Medina, who works night watch patrol. We have Lieutenant Caldwell, who is night watch lieutenant, as well as animal services. So anytime you want to adopt an animal or have animal control issues, he's your man. Over here we have Officer Bailey, who works night watch patrol, and also answers some of those 911 calls in your district. And we have Sergeant Morris, newly promoted sergeant, who helps supervise some of these guys and out there making sure things are done right. So anytime you're having a problem with a 911 call at night or any time during the day, always ask for a supervisor and they can help you out. We got over 200 non-sworn and sworn members of this department that help keep this island safe every day. So I'm gonna let these folks get back to work and then we'll talk about District 2. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
First of all, I'll give you a little about overall crime on the island. When we compare September to August 2020, we are down on major crimes such as assaults, auto thefts, rape, robbery, and things of that sort. We're down about 15.5% September versus August. When we look at overall crime on the island for 2020 versus last year, at the same time period, 2019, we're down about 3.9%. However, we have had a couple of spikes. One spike being in ag assault, which means some of our shootings and other violent crime is up. We've had a spike in assaults, especially in the family violence realm, and I certainly ask you to reach out to our Resource Crisis Center and other resources if you're in a bad situation when it comes to family violence, or to us, and we can guide you in the right direction. In burglary of motor vehicles, they're breaking into cars once again, starting this summer. Good news is that more and more of our cars on the island are being locked prior to these break-ins. Unlike the last couple of years, when the majority of cars were unlocked. So I still need you to continue to lock, take, and hide your valuables. Lock your car, take your valuables inside, or at least hide them if you're going into a convenience store or shopping and things of that sort. When we talk about District 2 specific, top calls in your district are: 1, public intoxication. So we have individuals that are over drinking and causing havoc and end up having to be arrested or cited for public intoxication and released to a responsible party. So please have a plan when you're going to go out and drink. But if you're seeing folks out there doing things that are not normal, overly served, etc., please give us a call so we can address that. Like I said before, burglary of a motor vehicle, and then theft. Many of those thefts have been at convenience stores and other places, but a lot of them have been at your private residences, whether that be stealing from your yard, stealing from your sheds, stealing from your garages. So also ensure that you lock those and ensure that your property is taken care of. And lastly, we've had family violence, as also mentioned. Some of the things we can do to prevent these in District 2, which runs from 6th Street to about 39th Street and Broadway to about 1.5. So what can you do to help us? Number 1, speeding complaints are very high in the district, so we continue to run enforcement initiatives out there and things of that sort, but please slow down. If you're going to tell us about a speeding complaint, I ask that you give us a specific location and peak time. I know they speed all the time, and we'll never eliminate speeding, but we can certainly do everything we can to reduce it. So tell me the worst time of the day and the worst day of the week. That way we can ensure we get proper resources out there. Ensure your doors are locked. Don't leave things open for extended periods of time. Don't leave valuables in plain sight, whether on your property or in your car. Make sure your alarm systems and cameras and everything are working properly. Many times we respond to a call, whether it's a business or a residence, and they will have good equipment, whether it be cameras or alarm systems, but they're not working at that time. So hit them maintenance, make sure your stuff is working. If you're a business owner and you have a camera system, make sure your employees know how to retrieve that video. which can help expedite the clearance process for our detectives. If they can get a hold of that video and get PSAs and things out so that we can go locate these suspects, we can help solve those crimes. Lighting, whether you're a business owner or a resident, do whatever you can to get good lighting around your structures. Put motion sensors on so they don't have to stay on all the time. And crooks hate light. You can get a low-cost motion detector adapter for a regular light bulb in any hardware or big box store. Locker bicycles. There's a lot of bicycles on the island, whether they be students, whether they be J1 visas workers, whether they be transients. So make sure we lock our bicycles up so that they're not stolen as well. One of the primary purposes of National Night Out is for your neighbors to get to know one another. So we have asked that you can continue to go ahead and turn your porch lights on and those things in this COVID season. However, once we get through this, we would love for you to continue to get to know your neighbors, find neighbors that you can trust, and watch out for one another. Don't post on social media that you're going to be out of town for a week or two, and then let the burglars know so that they can go break into your property. But certainly let a neighbor you can trust know that you will be out so that they can keep periodic checks on your house, so that they may have access to something that occurred at the house, and they can help us out while you're out of town. Mark your valuables. Way back when I started policing, we used to use etch markings to scrape your social security number, your driver's license into property. Now you can still do that, or you can use a simple UV pen. They're very inexpensive. You can order them from many of the online sources. You can get them at many of the local drugstores, Walgreens, CVS, etc. But get a UV pen, write your driver's license or social security number or some kind of identifying thing on your property, and log your serial numbers. When you log your serial numbers, if that property is found at a pawn shop or somewhere else, it's a much easier process for us to get that property back to you, or to ensure that it's yours and not someone else's. If you have your driver's license or some other identifier on it, that also helps us in the process. And that pin will be invisible, so the only way we're going to see it is if you use a UV light. So do what you can to help us protect you and also be able to solve those crimes if they do occur. And when walking at night with our spikes and robberies and things during the holiday seasons, etc., please walk in groups, walk with a buddy, and ensure you know where you are. Be aware of your surroundings and ensure someone else knows where you're going, especially if you have to go by yourself. There are ways that you can track your phone, that you can be on the phone, let people hear what's going on, but do whatever we can to be safe. That will help reduce our burglaries, our thefts, and all those things as high. Thank you again for attending National Night Out in District 2. And we look forward to seeing you again, where we can just truly engage one another and have those hugs and high fives and all those things after the COVID season. Again, don't forget to watch out for the storm. The storm is coming. Hopefully it won't hit the island. It looks like it's moving a little east and will likely hit near to the Texas-Louisiana border. But watch the news, watch the weather reports, and be cognizant of what's going on as the weather comes in to this hurricane season. Thank you again. Good night.